Welcome to the aVinci Spatium.
aVinci Spatium is a space settlement which will be home for 8,000 people. It will be located in the vicinity of Mars, and the main purpose is to see if humans can adapt to a new geopolitical system in an isolated environment. The inspiration behind our ship's structure is the Alcubierre warp drive. Our ship's unique form represents the mind-boggling speeds with which humanity evolves, driven by the wish of discovery. The base torus will be the habitation area for 1/3 of the population, and the transitory tube will be the only transportation between the two living areas. The habitable shell will be the main living and working area for the rest of the population, including entertainment, healthcare, and research centers. 10 structural tubes will prevent the habitable shell and base torus from flying apart, with 2 being located at the bifurcation of the 2 living spaces, 4 holding the tube and another 4 holding the habitable shell. Now, let's talk about the ideal construction site for our space habitat. We have identified a position at 6,415 kilometers above sea level in medium Earth orbit, where space debris density is significantly lower than low Earth orbit, and also the distance isn't as big as high Earth orbit. So the starships would be able to store more materials, not more fuel, being time and cost efficient. Our construction stages will involve launching starships with each carrying 140 tons of cargo. With a total weight of approximately 10 million tons, we will require 18 launches per day for the next 10 years in order to complete the structure. We will launch rockets every time the structure is at its optimal point from Cape Canaveral, where there are 3 facilities capable of launching the starships. 3 rockets every 4 hours. In the first year, we plan to construct the industrial hub and 6 of the structural tubes. The second year will see the construction of the base torus, and in the third year, we will build the transitory tube along with the 4 remaining structural tubes. We will dedicate the next 5 years to building the inner and outer walls of the habitable shell, and the remaining 2 years will be spent constructing the interior of the ship and populating it. Our transportation towards Mars will be using Itokawa, an S-type asteroid which will act as a towing truck. The masses of both the celestial body and the aVinci Spatium will be tidally locked, revolving around the barycenter of the binary system. We have also selected Itokawa because it contains enormous quantities of water, which we will extract and transport to the settlement using starships. In March 2034, Itokawa will approach the red planet and will change orbits. aVinci Spatium starting to revolve around Mars, its permanent home.
The water will be brought from Mars' northern pole in starships that are created for this purpose. In one starship, there will be 10 tons of water, enough to keep the life support systems working. One of the biggest challenges is providing enough resources for astronauts to survive and conduct experiments on long-duration missions. That's where the Sabatier reaction comes in. Our Sabatier reactor, gas chip reactor, and electrolysis system will ensure that we have enough resources to maintain life on board the spacecraft. The system will produce methane, oxygen, water, and carbon, which will all be necessary for the inhabitants to survive. The process has been tested and has proven to be highly efficient, but the Sabatier reaction has even more potential. It could be used to produce fuel for our spacecraft, using the methane produced as a propellant. This would significantly reduce the amount of fuel that needs to be carried into space, making long-duration missions more feasible. Providing enough energy is also a complicated task. The spaceship needs at least 4 gigawatts of electricity per day to maintain all systems running. Solar panels with hexagonal lenses will be used to generate 2000 gigawatts of power. Methane will be used for heating systems, and thermal radiators will be used to reject excess heat. These pavements generate energy when you step on them. They will be also used as a source of energy.
Another important aspect of life support is the nutrition of the colonies. Vertical farming is the way to go for our community's agriculture needs. By utilizing this innovative technology, we can produce more crops with less water usage. With dehumidifiers, we can even collect and purify the water for reuse, making our farming practices sustainable and environmentally friendly. Aquaponics is an innovative and sustainable farming method that combines aquaculture and hydroponics. By using the natural waste from fish as fertilizer for plants, We can reduce land and water usage while increasing crop yields. This interconnected system is a great solution for producing fresh, healthy, and environmentally friendly food in our community. We will implement a sustainable approach to agriculture by reusing human waste as a natural fertilizer. It contains essential minerals like nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus that are necessary for plant growth. While human waste can be dangerous, we will try to reduce the pathogens before using it. By using human excreta, we can increase the organic matter in soils and create a more sustainable and environmentally friendly approach to agriculture.
As we set our sights on the vast expanse of space, we are facing with a complicated problem of creating a good and safe habitat for people to live. One of the threats is the space debris. The Whipple shield we have developed will provide the necessary protection to shield our spacecraft from high-velocity particles that could cause irreparable damage. The shield is made out of layers of Dyneema and Kevlar, which are two very strong and durable materials. Between these layers will be a dilatant liquid, which will also help slowing down any incoming debris. With this shield, we will ensure that our journey to space will be as safe as possible.
Another major concern when it comes to space travel is radiation, so we developed a shield for that as well. First, the water stored in 25 cm thick tubes will provide some protection. The RFX-1 shield developed by NASA scientists will help protect our spacecraft and inhabitants from harmful radiation. This lightweight shield, made up of carbon and hydrogen atoms, is stronger than aluminum and has comparable shielding results to traditional polyethylene shields. The Kevlar and Dyneema from the hypervelocity particle shield are very effective. We have also researched and developed a system that will help reduce the amount of radiation absorbed by our inhabitants through ingested food and drugs.
If you want to establish a sustainable and equitable space society, we need to learn from the successes and failures of past communal settlements and the kibbutz. We must prioritize democratic socialism, self-reliance, and social equality over individual profit and status. We must also ensure that everyone has access to the same resources and care, regardless of the role or occupation in the community. By working together towards a common goal, we can create a thriving space society that benefits all of its members. Our space station will be more than just a scientific mission. It will be a social experiment, a chance to create a truly isolated community where we can test new models of social organization. Unlike failed attempts at communism, we will carefully select all individuals with the right mindset and ensure that our community is built on shared values and a sense of purpose. Let us embrace the spirit of the kibbutz and create a new vision for a better society, one that can inspire and sustain us even in the harshest and most remote environments. Our space settlement will be a model for a truly communal society. Every individual will contribute to the community by developing commodities and services that will all benefit everyone. In exchange, they will receive all the goods and services they need to lead a comfortable life. We believe in equal distribution of work and rest, which is why everyone will work a minimum number of hours per week, with the flexibility to choose their working days. Those who work extra will receive credit, which they can use later in life. Our community will be divided in two groups, and all jobs will be equally distributed to ensure no personnel shortage. Together, we will create a sustainable and harmonious society in space.
On the aVinci Spatium, there will be people with and without jobs. The people with jobs will be divided in three categories. Administrators, who will monitor the life support systems, the political system, and the habitat. Scientists, from biologists and chemists to psychologists, which will observe the behaviors of inhabitants, which will be a significant part of the population. And people that act for the well-being of the community, like teachers, doctors, and trainers. The adults that don't have an occupation are either used for testing or they're tourists. Moreover, students don't have a job, but they have the obligation to study, as well as apprentices who have the position to observe and retrieve the working methods of their superiors. The education of the children is very important because they are the future of our settlement. Team collaboration will also be promoted next to psychological and natural sciences, such as biology, chemistry, astronomy, physics, and many others. In terms of population on the superstructure, we decided to adopt the lifestyle called kibbutz. The kibbutz uses the principle of equal rights and consists of all members being totally equal, earning the same no matter how much they contributed. However, in order for the socialist economic organization to work properly, we have to make sure that the citizens we bring into this research journey are all hardworking people that are willing to contribute to the well-being of the community. This is why we decided to make some tests. The tests you're about to see are designed with the help of some current psychology evaluations. The first one has the role of getting to know the individual's past, while the second one has the role of getting to know the individual's way of thinking. The first test has a division according to age. Category A is for ages 60 or more, Category B for ages between 40 and 59, Category C for ages between 27 and 39, Category D, ages between 18 and 26, and Category E for ages 17 or younger. As I said before, this examination has an introductory purpose in order for us to understand the person's background and contains essential questions. The maximum number of points you can get on this test is 100 points. It is important to state that in order for a candidate to be able to take the second test, they have to pass the first one. To pass the first test, each category will have to earn a certain amount of points. Here you can see questions from multiple categories which we find essential. Housing is a key factor on a space settlement. For 8,000 people, we considered a total of 1,150 houses, duplexes, and apartment buildings. People will be displayed as follows. Pairs that have no kids or individuals that live alone will be living in an apartment. Couples that have one kid will be living in a duplex with another family of this kind, and families with 2 kids will stay in a house by themselves. All these buildings will be located in the habitable shell and in the base torus.